actually. So when we are talking about domestic markets, and what's your take on substituting imports, especially, and also to increase exports? What are the actions no you expect from a government which would catalyst the growth of SMEs to compete globally?
So government really cannot do anything on the domestic side to catalyst consumption because it is already happening. Okay, I think GST is one action they can do to try and make India a large single market. Automatically, that will catalyst. So from that side, they're doing. In our industry, they have already recognized and given certain benefits for the exporters on terms of refunding state levies and things to try and make us more competitive and to that. So I think the government has done its bit to that extent. They have extended, lower finance costs for exporters across the board, in fact. So what they have actually done is that the government is very focused on export side of things from a manufacturing point of view. They're willing to give cheaper credit. They are willing to give all of these benefits. I think, but while I am happy on one hand because I have a company which is export, I don't. I think it is not correct for an SME who is supplying to the Indian market because it puts them at a disadvantage in many ways. The only area where government I would, if they can do something, is making access to capital for SMEs. You know, to me, the biggest challenge for an SME to grow and scale up is going to be lack of capital. Banks, ironically, should be lending more and more to SMEs and SMEs, but they are lending lesser and lesser to SMEs and MSMEs, thanks to the problems of NPA, XYZ. But if capital is not available for an SME at an affordable cost, that is the single biggest challenge. It's going to be there.
What's your view on access to capital, especially for SMEs?
That's a big challenge for the SMEs because getting funds, it's not easy. But one thing I would say, really wholeheartedly work for the company. I'm sure government would support in all the ways. Financial are tough time for SMEs, but I feel maybe as time goes, if you show results, you compare. Now, as time changing, the technologies has to be brought in, a lot of digital way to work. So SMEs should come forward and look into those subject and take it.
So what about your views, sir? Access to funds and capital?
Yeah, that's as sir rightly told. I do agree with this. Where the government banking should come for more easy loan for the small and medium rather than. But with even the rate of interest what we pay is quite high. That need to be kind of a considerations and some special privileges need to be given from the government point. That is one. And the other side, as you about government support, though there is no specific government support from the SMEs and from the protection from the any industry per se, because the SMEs is a kind of a fragmented group. Unlike the recent, if you see, there's a government has put a ban on import of steels. Earlier, there's a lot of steel being imported from China and that kind of stuff, and there's a ban on importing of steel. Earlier, there was also some machineries, some molding machines. There's a big association or organization which has the lobbying to the power center, and they could be able to enforce laws to implement those kind of rules, which is beneficial to that industrial sector. But unfortunately, SMEs, there is no common unified voice to represent such things. That is one big disadvantage I feel.
Thanks for your answer. Can we open the floor for Q&A?
Yeah, I'm Professor Ramanathan from Amrita School of Engineering.
Okay.
Just wanted to know the role of state government in whatever you said today. The question can be answered by any one of you. And how good are they?
Each state government is now competing for business. So clearly, every state government is now upping the game. They are now competing for business. They are becoming more and more. Every state will be different. Some have advantages, some have not.
How about Tamil Nadu specifically?
Okay, so let me be, I'm not here to take pot shots at anybody, but we actually have a very strong SME culture already in this state, built on 30, 40 years. We have had a legacy of infrastructure, we have had a legacy of this. So we are definitely, as a state, if you ask me, we have a head start over most states in this country. What happens after 10 years? I'll answer after 10 years if things have not progressed further.
Hi, good morning. My name is Farhan. I'm coming from Farwood Industries. We are a fit-out manufacturing unit in Ponneri. So I would like to pose my question to Mr. Ravi. You were talking about the infrastructure support and how SIPCOT area has no STP and such. So at my place, that is we are nearby Ponneri. So there also we face such an issue. Say like we have to put an STP, but then there are not enough. I mean, the capital will not. The ROI is not enough for that. So as such problems arise, what we tried to do was to, get in touch with the nearby industries as such, and we thought of, forming an association to deal with such infrastructure programs. But what happens is that when a company tries to form an association, other companies get defensive, for various reasons. So, is there any other way to overcome this, say another separate body governing this? Anybody can answer, or what are your views on forming such a body? Because you are also from a manufacturing industry.
So that is the reason why we always, normally when you start a business, we like to see where we'd like to settle our business to be in the same, it's preferable to be on an industrial area. So there'll be common representations, common like-minded requirements, and people also will be unit. If it starts in some locations where not an industrially notified areas, but now the industries are started coming up, maybe these kind of problems used to happen because there's no standard facilities. And that time, the industries who goes there has to factor in the cost of all these things because they can't expect common facilities. So when they put the project itself, the factoring in of all these things has to be taken into consideration. If not, then probably maybe, but associations as such, I don't know to what extent it can help. They can only represent. But the basic statutory requirements has to be fulfilled, and that there is no way out of that. In industry, if you have that, you have to go with the pollution or the sweat treatment has to be met. That has to be, by default you have to fulfill.
Just another question following that. See, now you are saying that it is compulsory to fulfill that. So we'll have to invest. So again, we are diverting money. What I'm asking is, as an association, it would be better if we have a common facility built up in the area.
Yes.
If we could do something like that. But
yeah. Yes, in Ambattur estate, we have a common effluent treatment plant. See, there are 1,500 industrial estates are there, units are there. All are small units, as small as like Mr. Sir told, from 10 employees to 500 to 600 employees. So those cannot afford to have a individual sewage treatment. So we have two common sewage treatment plant in Ambattur estate connected to that, and all the sewages are being let into the common effluent treatment plants. And it's been treated and the water is let out. Even there, we find quite a lot of complaints. The many industries doesn't cooperate. When we say chemicals and things should not be mixed, they mix it with that and we go on. See, this is some basic discipline and kind of, we need to work around that.
So I just want to add one thing, and I'm sure Ravi having an in the Ambattur estate will be able to think. At the time when the estate was set up 50 years back, nobody thought of these things, okay? Today, to expect the government to say that no, I will set up a common ETP, common road drainage will not happen. Government doesn't have budgets or they want to use the money for other areas. So it again boils down to the people who are operating in that place to come together and take a decision and say, hey, let's do this because it is good for all of us, which means we have to chip in. When it comes to that point, most of us as SMEs will say, no, this is government's job, it is not my job, I don't want to give it. Actually, if I am the government guy, I'll ask and say, okay, boss, do one thing. You pay me today's market rate. I'll put up the effluent treatment plant. That time they will say, no, we had taken to you in 1957, 3 rupees per square foot is my area of land. It's a double-edged sword. So you go to Mahindra World City today, it's a private thing, it's fair, they put up everything and they charge you for that. Somehow we don't have a problem going there, paying the full charges of maintenance and having it operating. But we're operating in our old SIPCOT, we're operating in our old estates, we will raise all these issues. I'm not saying that it is not the government's job or it is not. We must be practical that the government has limited budgets. If to me they facilitate and don't come in the way of anything, itself is the greatest advantage. That's it. We should not expect more. You approve the layout like Chandan says, perfectly okay boss. You come and say, I'll put up an ETP as association, please don't stop us. Done, no problem. If they do that much as facilitation, I would say that is 60% marks given to that itself. But then the onus forms on us as manufacturers to form the association, run it efficiently, and contribute towards the well-being.
Thank you. It's my privilege to be a moderator for such a fascinating panel discussion. I would like to thank the Guild for providing this opportunity to sit with these eminent panelists and wonderful audience like you. Thank you.